so excited. Look at our NPR. Isn't this amazing? Something really special is about to happen. What? Okay. Well, let me introduce some very important people, then I'll let you in on the big surprise. I want to introduce some important guests in our audience. Are you ready? Let's give them a warm Richmond welcome. First, I want to welcome some of our school board members are here. Beverly Berryman, our school board president. Give them a big round of applause. Hilda Sugarman, a school board trustee. Our cabinet members are here. Dr. Pleka, our superintendent. Dr. Lee, Jeremy Davis, Dr. Hammett. We also want to welcome our Chief of Police for Fullerton Police Department, Chief Dunn. And boys and girls, remember the pajamas we got at Christmas from Santa? That was from our corporate partner. Target is in the house with Lynn and Travis. Welcome. We also want to welcome Lakeshore. Joss Hilliger is here. Thank you for being here. We also I have a friend here with me. And do you know what a Tony box is? Do you know what Tonys are? Do you love to read? Did you read a story called The Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm? Wasn't that the best book ever? Who was your favorite character? Mine too. I love that story. Well, guess what? The person that wrote that story is here today. Are you so excited? So this is my friend Drew. Say good morning, Drew. So Drew is here, and he's going to introduce a very, very special guest. So I'm going to turn over to Drew, and I need your best audience. Are you ready? Here we go.
Hello, welcome. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I feel really special here, and you know what? You guys have such special teachers. They are amazing. I've been working with them, and I just want to thank everybody at Richman Elementary School and Fullerton School District. This has been fantastic. This is actually a dream of mine because I get to work for a company where I get to share stories with kids. Do you guys like stories? Yeah. I like stories too, and one of the reasons why I like stories so much is because when I was your age, when I was a little kid, I used to watch a show called Reading Rainbow. And on Reading Rainbow was a person named LeVar Burton, and he became a very special person for me because he taught me how to appreciate stories. And so now I grew up and I get to help share stories. And so I'm so excited to have Mr. Burton here. He wrote the book that you have been reading. He's also been on, your parents might know him from Star Trek or, yeah. Your grandparents might know him from Roots. I know him from Reading Rainbow because I grew up watching him. He inspired me. When I came to Tony's, I immediately thought of him because our mission at Tony's is to help teach stories to kids and provide them to kids. And he was so fortunate when we gave him a call. We said, will you help us tell our story? And so we're fortunate to have him. And so I would like your biggest welcome for Mr. LeVar Burton.
At Richmond. So I'm LeVar, and this is my book, The Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm. And you've all read the book, right? And you've said that the rhino is your favorite character? I like the rhino too, but you know who is also my favorite character? Mika Mouse. Do you know why Mika Mouse is my favorite character? Because the Mika in the book is named after my daughter, Mika Burton. And she is one of the reasons why I wrote this book. Would you like to hear it? Yeah! Here we go. Is this for me? Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. This is The Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm by LeVar Burton. And the illustrations are by Susan Schaefer Bernardo. The illustrations are by Courtney Fletcher, and my co-writer was Susan Schaefer Bernardo. Here we go. In the middle of the morning, Mika Mouse trembled under her blanket. A storm boomed outside of her window. Rain crashed against the shutters. Wind rattled the glass. That was the wind. More than anything else, Mika was afraid of storms. A year before, a powerful hurricane had destroyed her home. "I'm scared, Papa," she said. "We are safe, Mika. This storm will pass soon," said Papa. "Would you like me to read you a story? I know just the one to help you feel better." Well, Mika loved books, and Papa's gentle voice soothed in a way that made her forget all about the thunder. Papa opened the book and began. "Long, long ago, before there were words, animals roamed in bountiful herds. Little Rhinoceros lived happy and free, exploring mountains and meadows, rivers and trees. His world was delightful and chock full of magic until out of the blue, that magic became tragic. A storm swept through the valley, turning bright sky to black. A flash flood came raging, no time to react. Lost in the thundering, no time for wondering. Chaos and lightning fury so frightening, earth quaking, him shaking, water rumbling, him tumbling, raggedy-jaggedy, senseless calamity. The storm crashed through his world and tore it apart and took away everything dear to his heart. Rhino was stunned by the terrible scene. Death and destruction all through the ravine. Enraged by the pain of such a great loss, Rhino acted without a thought to the cost. Rhino looked at his world, all tattered and torn, stood out on that ledge and swallowed the storm. Inside his belly, he felt the storm growing. Inside his head, he heard howling and blowing like a tornado. He spun as the storm raged inside, growing bigger and bigger and wider than wide. When he finally stopped, when he regained control, he was at the very bottom of a very deep hole. What to do? Rhino worried as rain dripped down his face. I'm lost and I'm lonely and in such a dark place. At just the right moment to comfort and guide him, a spider dropped down and dangled beside him. The world up above is shattered and gray, but it's where you belong, so you must find a way to let that storm out and move through your sorrow. You'll find many helpers on your road to tomorrow. Oh, but that hole was dreadfully deep, and the walls around him were slippery steep. Rhino tried to climb out, but was losing all hope when Kangaroo heard him and threw down a rope. Though Rhino was heavy from the weight of the storm, they towed him right up. got him safe, dry, and warm. We're strong and steady and always ready. When danger strikes, we hop to it. Fire or flood, snow or mud, when danger comes, we help you through it. Well, watching those heroes do what they did best gave Rhino the strength to set off on his quest. That storm he was clutching made him buzzy and blurry. It kept his brain foggy. It filled him with worry. Where do I go? What do I do? How will I ever make it through? After every dark night, there comes a new day. Be kind, do your best, and you'll find a way. Up comes the sun. There are steps to complete. There isn't a map, just follow your feet. Could you tell those were the bees? Well, Rhino followed his feet to a wallowing spot where he plopped on a rock and had a deep thought. I'm tired of caging the wind and the rain, exhausted from holding this anger and pain. We're all on this earth to learn and to grow. A wise old tortoise chimed in from below. Allowing yourself to start feeling your feelings is the very first step on your journey toward healing. It doesn't much matter if you're fast or you're slow. If you want to move forward, just trust and let go. Well, Rhino shook and he shimmied and he stomped in the muck, and just as he'd hoped, that storm came unstuck. And at first, one little raindrop leaked out of his eye. Then Rhino let go and had a good cry. His tears formed a river as they flowed to the sea, where a pot of whales swam happy and free. I do feel better, Rhino thought as he drifted. Then up swam a whale, and Rhino was lifted. If you ever feel blue, the whale said with a spout, remember to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Sing your own song and take it deep, deep, deep. Then rise above with a joyful leap. As he floated home on a gentle wave, Rhino felt calm and strong and brave. His vision was clear like the sky above, and he looked at his world through eyes filled with love. And so he thanked the kind spider and the brave kangaroo and all of the others who had helped him through. He was glad to know that if he ever lost hope, they'd lend him a hand or throw him a rope. He had journeyed his journey a very long way to find the light in a world turned gray. He swallowed a storm with no thought to the cost. He'd felt all alone. He'd been lonely and tossed. Life would bring changes, beginnings and ends, but he had faith in himself and faith in his friends. And as they curled up together, he felt loved and protected. And he dreamed of a world that was safe and connected. He understood now it was love that mattered. Love could never be lost. Love can never be shattered. Papa closed the book and gave Mika a big hug. I know it was scary when we lost our home last winter, said Papa. Bad things happen sometimes, and we can't always control that. But we've had lots of helpers, said Mika. Just like Rhino did. Well, that's right, little one, Papa said in his gentle way. You're never really alone when bad things happen. There are family and friends, even people we don't know, who are always there to help us through the tough times. Together, we can weather any storm. And like every good story with a storm, this one ends in a rainbow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Did you like it? I'm happy. I'm glad that you liked it. It is such a pleasure to be here at Richman Elementary. I've been looking forward to this day for a long, long time, and meeting your principal, Teacher of the Year, right? But do you know how rare it is to be named Teacher of the Year?
2011, so it was a long time ago.
Still, in my view, as the son of a teacher, it is an accomplishment worthy of note. Yeah. Well, I think there's more to our program this morning. Let's see what happens next, shall we? Yeah? All right. Drew?
Yes, thank you so much. I wanted to ask, because I know a little bit about the story behind why you wrote the Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm, stemming off a personal relationship of yours. Are you willing to share that?
Yeah. You know, we live in a world where there are so many tragic events that happen, like storms and floods and fires and hurricanes, and I was in New York City one Saturday afternoon, and another one of these major tragedies had happened. And I thought to myself, you know, Fred Rogers, do you guys know who Mr. Rogers is? Some do, some don't.
Daniel
Mr.
Tiger.
Rogers.
Daniel Tiger.
Oh, you know Daniel Tiger. Ah, Daniel Tiger. So Daniel Tiger is an animal that was born on a show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And Mr. Rogers, a man named Fred Rogers, was a big hero of mine, and also was on television doing kids programming. And Fred and I became friends, and Fred used to be so brilliant at writing books and explaining to an audience of kids about the world that we live in. And on this particular day, I realized that Fred was no longer here. Fred had passed on, and there was nobody really stepping in to speak to kids about tragedy and loss and recovery. The story of Rhino isn't just about everything that he lost, it's also about the things that he gained in terms of knowing that we're never alone, that we all need help getting through life, that life is a group effort, right? We never do this thing called life alone. There are, as the book says, family and friends, even sometimes people we don't know, who are there to help us through the tough times. So this was a response to that need, and seeing that Fred wasn't here anymore. And so we decided to take a shot. Thank you.
Yeah,
Drew.
thank you so much. Can we have one more round of applause for Mr. Burton? Thank you so much. We might call you back up in a second to give you to give the school the check. But I'm so grateful for Mr. Burton. Not only did he come here today, but we also worked to put that story that you just heard onto a Tony, which you all know, and you know we're able to hear from him anytime we want.
Hi there. Do you like stories? Well, I hope so, because I've got a special one to share with you. It's about big.
So we have his book. We have created some additional content around teaching kids how to deal with difficult situations. Just want to thank Mr. Burton again so much for his partnership with us. We do have an initiative that we're doing this through called Tony's for Teachers. So anybody who's joining via the live stream who is interested in learning more about Tony's for Teachers, please reach out to us. If you want to be considered to be one of our next donation partners, we'd love to hear from you about your school, how you might use Tony's to help tell stories to kids. So that's tonys.fun/donation for anybody interested to get in touch with us. And I think we're going to bring in Red. Red is our mascot, so everybody give a cheer to Red. So Red likes to join us at special events, and today is a special event. So Red is going to help us to present your school with a donation. So we'll get Kristen up here, and we'll have Red hand the check to the donation, rather, to Kristen.
It's a costume.
So let's turn Red around, and then Red can hand this to and would you mind joining us?
Pleasure.
So
Hi,
Red is
Red.
gonna give the check to you,
Hi.
and then we can maybe all get a photo.
I'm right there.
Okay.
There she is, yeah.
Got it.
So thank you, Mr. Burton. Thank you, Fullerton School District, Richman Elementary School. And we also have a couple of gifts for you. So we have a gift from Tony's, and we also have a gift from Richmond.
We have a gift for you.
All right. So I don't know if you know this, but we have a very active community on Facebook. It's called Tony Box USA. It's a Facebook group. And they do crazy things, including creating what we call DIY Tonys, where they'll take some of our blank creative Tonys and they will paint them in different likenesses. So I have a presentation for you, and maybe I can explain what this is here. So we have 4 creative Tonys. We have an immensely talented artist named Katie Mers who paints these. We've got 4 Tony characters. One is LeVar from Reading Rainbow. One is from his character on Star Trek: The Next Generation. I believe his name is Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge.
That's right.
We have a Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm from his book, and we also have the Tony's brand ambassador, LeVar, in the bottom right corner there.
Thank you, Tonys. Thank you. That's right.
And thank you again to Katie, who graciously painted those.
Thank you, Drew.
And then we have Richmond has another gift that they'd like to present to you.
LeVar, you've really touched our hearts and our love for reading with your story, The Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm. So this blanket is for you. Thank you for teaching us to be brave during a storm from your Richman Elementary TK and kindergarten family. So we wanted to present you with that.
Wow. That is awesome.
And our students were so touched by your story. You know who their favorite character was, of course.
Rhino.
So our classes made for you different books about the story, about their favorite part. There is the one with the rhino and how the rhino makes them feel. You're going to give it to Mr. Burton. And then we have How is the Rhino Feeling? And also Thank You, Mr. Burton. So your story just really touched our hearts, and we're so grateful that you shared it again with us today. So thank
It
you.
was really my pleasure. I loved being here. I loved sharing Rhino with all of you. I loved that you were familiar with the story and already had a favorite character. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your warm welcome and wonderful hospitality. I really appreciate you all. And you know what? It's so wonderful to feel the presence of the Fullerton community in this room today.
Yes.
My understanding is this really was a community effort. And so thank you to all of the sponsors, all of the people who supported this. Thank you, Chief, for showing up for the kids here. We appreciate all of y'all. Thank you so much.
We couldn't do it without all of you. Let's give them another big round of applause. Boys and girls, I don't know if you realize this, but you know those Tonys and those Tony boxes? They donated them to our school. Can you say thank you, Mr. Burton? Can you say thank you, Tonys?
Thank you, Tonys!
We're so very grateful. Thank you to all of our special guests that are here today. We're so grateful for your partnership, for helping us with our school and also the Fullerton School District school community. We are so grateful for all of you. And I think we are good. Drew, is this it? We're going to wave goodbye to our people on live stream. Thank you for joining us at Richman Elementary. We had a great morning, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Everybody wave goodbye to everybody on TV. Say bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well done.
So much. Oh, no, thank you. I really, really